Hello guys, once again it's Matt and today we have another video. Let's thank our members Victus, Crazy Book Cots, and our Patreons Interceptor, Richardson, Danny Cage and Rupert. And let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about my wishes for the December patch. We are almost there guys, we are almost starting to see devlogs. We'll probably see devlogs coming up like in late this month. So about 1 to 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks from now. And yeah, I always do a video on the wishes, and obviously I always do a video on what we need to expect, my predictions, you know. So I did a video on the predictions, and obviously they are different. The predictions, normally I say what I think are more realistic things that are probably coming for War Thunder in the next patch, and my wishes are basically my wishes, just, you know, the things that I wanted personally more to come to War Thunder. So, obviously, I have to say, as I always do, more 4th generation aircraft, you know, like in general, MiG-29s, F-16s, you know, aircraft like that, tornadoes, you know, aircraft like that are, I will not say needed right now, because to be honest, we are kind of in a very good position right now in balance. You know, it's not too unbalanced, and we have room for growth as well, you know. And we kind of have already a confirmation that obviously more 4th generation aircraft will come anyway, you know. But specifically, obviously I want the MiG-29, as I always want until it's here. It is my favorite aircraft, but it's still I really want the F-16 as well, so that we can have kind of a fair balance. So if the first wish of the next patch is more 4th generation aircraft, the second wish is that we get not only one aircraft on that type, you know. Because if we get at least 2 of them, at least we are going to have kind of a balanced situation. You know, you have some nations having the MiG, some nations having the F-16, and then we will be fine. You know, it's not something like the MiG-23 MLD when it was added, or even the F-14. The problem with the F-14 itself was not the F-14, but it was the amount of F-14s. And the MiG-23 MLD at first was kind of that, but it was an aircraft that was very, very much OP from the get-go. So, yeah, these are the 2 main wishes that I have, to be honest, because we need to continue to progress with the game, especially after kind of a lacking update that we had in that area, especially. You know, we didn't have any properly new aircraft. We had the MiG-21 base, that it's already an aircraft that we already have, and we had the K5L, which is a very good addition, actually. Chinese Tech 3 actually needed that. But still, it's not what we wanted, right? The hype behind the MiG-29 and F-16 is too high to not deal with it, you know? So, yeah, these are the 2 main wishes that I have for us to actually, especially have more 4th generation aircraft, but also to have more than one, at least. The ideal situation would be 3. So the MiG-29, the F-16, and the Tornado ADV. That way we can have an F-16 for the US, a MiG-29 for the Germans, MiG-29 for the Russians, for the Soviets, you know, the Tornado ADV for the British. For the Italians, we can have, or for the Japanese, we can have more missiles, maybe for the Kai, but for now, nothing. So it's one nation that would not get anything. For the Chinese, we would probably get the F-16. For the Italians, the Tornado and the F-16, if they want to. For the... What is there? Even? I forgot. The Swedish. They can have kind of nothing for now, but maybe in the future, at least better missiles, at least like the Kai, you know, for the better missiles. But also in the future, they can receive the F-16A as the Danish sub-3, you know. And then Israel, obviously, having the F-16 as well, you know. So there is just 2 nations that in one patch, just 2 nations don't get a new aircraft. It's a good patch, you know. I mean, it would be so many. I mean, it's so many aircraft. It's like 4 F-16s, 2 Tornadoes, and 2 MiG-29s. It would be, oh my god, how many videos would I do in the first couple of days of the patch, right? But still, I doubt that we will see these many aircraft. We will probably see just 2, and for some nations only, maybe. I can even see the F-16 not coming to the US, which would make a lot of people mad, but I would understand. It would be the same as in the F-86K back in the day, you know, and the F-104 kind of even, because the US, I mean, US already has the F-14. It's not like it really needs the F-16, but we have to consider that if I mean, for example, the Germans need more of an aircraft than the Soviets, even though they have the MLA, which is completely fine. But technically, it's the more needed nation to have a new MiG. And imagine a MiG-29 coming for the Germans and not for the Soviets. It would make zero sense, right? So, yeah, the F-16 should come to the US as well, right? Even if it's the earlier ones and stuff like that, doesn't mean too much. You know, it would be very, very good. But the thing is, these are the 2 main wishes that I have. Obviously, I always say about the bigger maps. I still think that we need bigger maps. We are getting into that. So as you see, we got the Grand Canyon map. And we got the AC version of that map as well, which is always a good thing, you know, to have a big map and then also have an EC that it is in the rotation. But mainly, this third wish is for the matchmaking itself, you know. The rotation of maps is very, very limited for just not a lot of maps, you know. I don't know if it's a lot of people just banning some specific maps or something like that, or disliking the maps or something like that. But I really, really think that we need not only bigger maps, but in general, them more in the rotation. I still think that for top tier, I mean, we have like, I don't know, I will guess now, but 5% of the battles are the EC maps, maybe even less than that. So maybe we can get the to 50%, 40%, 30% at least, something like that, would make much more sense. Or even better, if they add a particular mode for that. A lot of people, this can be the 4th wish if you want to. This is a thing that a lot of people are asking for it. And if there is people flying simulator battles, it means that some people at least would fly in the ring confrontation RB as well. I still think that we need a mode for that. Maybe with a matchmaking, but maybe not. Maybe with a rotation like simulator at start, if there isn't too many players with PRs and stuff. But in the future, maybe if there is enough players playing the game like that, we would probably see in a proper matchmaking, you know. So yeah, it's something that I just think that it would only get more people into the game in general, just in the sense that, I mean, if you can have basically the freedom, the creative freedom of creating basically any mission that you want in the EC map, it would attract pilots, it would attract people to play the game, you know, more. It is just a matter of, I mean, it has so much more potential than the normal ARB, you know, clusters that we have. And it would make more sense. I know a lot of people complain about it because it is a match that takes more patience to play. And I still think that we should see the more, like, close quarter engagements that we see right now. Just for the sake of, you know, there's a lot of people that like that, you know. And even myself, I like sometimes to just play around a little bit, get into a match very quickly and do whatever I want very quickly, and then go back to the hangar and then go for another thing, or leave the computer or something, you know. So these longer matches, they take more patience to do it. But with more missions and more stuff to do in the map, it would make more sense. They can maybe have not the EC maps, but maybe something in the between the smaller maps and the EC maps, with smaller targets or something like that, or smaller objectives in general. That would mean like a mix between these two, you know. So it would be great for people that like to play larger maps, and it wouldn't be that bad for people that enjoy the little maps as well. You know, it would be kind of a compromise between each other, you know. So that would be my fourth thing, you know. And my fifth one and final one would be just more weapon types, you know, together with more missions, you know. So I really want anti-ship stuff, anti-radiation missiles, stuff like that, you know. It would be very, very cool. Maybe cluster or something like that, but I don't know about FPS and other considerations. And they added the napalm back in the earlier patch than this one, and it wasn't like completely different, you know. Wasn't like, oh my god, it broke the game. It was at start actually bad to use, but then it was very, very, very good, and it is good to use now napalm right now against bases and stuff. But they chose like literally one of the most useless types of ammunitions, different from normal bombs and rockets, you know, and missiles. So I guess anti-radiation missiles would be very, very cool to see, and anti-ship as well, you know. It would be very, very different to pick an aircraft and do anti-ship and doing confrontations or even simulator. So it would be very, very cool. And obviously the RWRs together to help it out. The proper RWRs for more modern aircraft would be very, very cool. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about these my 5 wishes. And let me know what are your 5 wishes in the comments. And I will be reading. So yeah, thank you guys for another video. And I see you guys on the next one. So bye guys. See ya.